Ladies and gentlemen, here today to the Alabama 500 at Talladega Superspeedway. It is the final race of the round of 8 in the playoffs in our chase for 8 with Jimmie Johnson. Just 2 final races on Johnson's career. He is locked into the championship 4 already. Take a look at the point standings here after qualifying for today's race before we really get on into this one. So we're going to qualify first and foremost. Quick qualifying for today's race to set the starting lineup for the final race of the round of 8 in the playoffs. This should be a lot of fun here in this one, to say the least. Had some action-packed super speedway races on NASCAR Heat 5 already, in the Cup Series as well. But none are more important up to this point, outside of arguably the Daytona 500, but as far as the season championship goes, this is the most important one so far this year. And we'll get to see who the other 3 drivers are to make it to the championship 4. So Johnson is in the championship after winning at Phoenix earlier this season. In the last race at Martinsville, he unfortunately crashed out of the race just before the halfway mark. Non-playoff driver ended up going on to win that said race, using the controller for today's race as well. Two laps out here for Jimmie Johnson to try and set this quick time. Lap 2 will ride along with that in-car camera. Off turn 2, pretty steady. Ran pretty well lap 1. So far lap 2 is looking like it's going to be a little bit quicker if he can get through turns 3 and 4. Pretty decent. 49.686 was that lap time on lap 1 for Johnson. And a lap time on lap 2 should be a little bit quicker, but how much quicker will it be? We know he hasn't had single car speed this season when it comes to the super speedway racing. 49.618, so a tad bit faster, but still last for Jimmie Johnson, and unfortunately he'll be starting from the back. 48.435 was the pole time there. Eric Almirola will be starting on the pole in today's race. Justin Haley will start outside pole in 2nd place. So take a look here. Looks like we got 2 drivers going to the rear of the field for the start of this race also. Shifty 50, welcome to the stream. Joshua White, welcome. Ultimate Games, Brandon Garcia, Called 88. Everybody welcome here. The finale race is at Darlington for the Southern 500. So that will be the finale race for this championship. This is a 100%er. Yep. Full race in action here for the playoffs. We are done with all the shortened races. We have been for a little bit now. So take a look at the point standings before we get started here in this. In the first race of the round of 8. Currently sitting 2nd right now in the standings is Kyle Busch. He is 14 points above the cut line. Ryan Newman, 9 points above the cut line, sitting in 3rd right now. Miracle run right there for Roush Fenway Racing. Denny Hamlin sits in that final spot above the cut line, just 8 points ahead. First driver outside coming into this race is Brad Keselowski. He is at -8. At -17 is Clint Boyer, the next closest driver to the cut line. And then Joey Logano and Alex Bowman, 7th and 8th, minus 22. Almost a must-win situation for Boyer, Bowman, and Logano. Unless the big one takes out some of these other guys, that definitely could be the case coming into this race here today. Patrick Shatterley, welcome to the stream. So here we go. 188 laps, 500 miles at Talladega Superspeedway to decide the championship 4. Bobby Carter looking pretty good. He is amped up for today's race. Alex Bowman, playoff driver, starting at the back of the pack, but he'll have teammate Jimmy Johnson along there with him. Quinn Houff as well, starting at the back. So here we go. You guys ready to have some fun tonight? I know I am. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Who will make it to the championship 4 in the chase for 8 with Jimmy Johnson? Survival just to get to the end of these 500 miles for all these playoff drivers. No stages on the line. And boy, Truex put a block on Harvick there. They were getting through the shifts in turns 1 and 2. Harvick got held up. Johnson will get right around him. And how about Bowman taking off on that restart? He's got teammate Johnson behind him, but Johnson makes a run for himself here. Down to the inside. They're already 3 by 3, 4 wide now through turns 3 and 4 on the opening lap of the race. Timmy Hill had a huge run. Johnson was right there with him. Remember, Timmy Hill did get a win at Talladega this season, but remember, he was not in the top 30, so he didn't even make the playoffs, unfortunately. So I believe he finished 34th at the end of the regular season point standings, but Timmy Hill got a win here earlier this season. Can he double down? Johnson trying to go for win number 20 on the season as well here in today's race. Bowman now to the back bumper of his teammate Johnson. You have to think those two likely could work together for today's race. Bowman did not win a race in the regular season. He made it on points. Had 0 playoff points when the playoffs started. He won at Richmond to get into the round of 12. Then he won at Bristol to get into the round of 8. But he sits himself 22 points back going into this final race of the round of 8. Perhaps needing another win. Almost looking like a Tony Stewart 2011 playoff running. Oh no, Logano about stuffed Stenhouse in the wall there down the backstretch. They definitely made contact. Tough to tell if Ricky got into the wall. Bobby Carter's been all over the place, top to bottom, as he follows Bubba Wallace on the outside line. Meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson in the opening laps of the race is already inside the top 20. B, welcome to the stream. The championship race at Darlington will likely be in about a week, week and a half is what we're shooting for here. Once we get the Xfinity caught up, we'll have all 3 championship races in a row for each series. In 3 consecutive days when that time comes. So we're almost in the playoffs for the Xfinity. We run in Mid-Ohio tomorrow, and we'll have just 2 races left until the playoffs there. So Johnson sees teammate Chase Elliott up there for a minute. He went high, went back down to the inside. His run stalled out until he went back down to the bottom. Now gets underneath both Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoie through the tri-oval. Oh, big move through the middle there. He didn't want to get out of the gas, and that was the only way to make sure that that was going to be the case, because Hamlin and Newman were stuck to that double yellow line. Johnson in line now behind Kyle Busch. Gives him a big push down the back straightaway off of turn 2. Brendan Gaughan running inside the top 5 right now. Michael McDowell leading the field. Blaney gets shuffled out of line. He was in 3rd. Busch gets shuffled way out of line. He goes all the way to the outside, so Johnson will get around him. Johnson trying to side trap Denny Hamlin, and now Newman and Dillon move up to the outside. Some more cars starting to form in this outer lane. Make it just a little bit faster. Newman getting pushed from Jimmy. Playoff driver, non-playoff driver. It doesn't matter when it comes to Talladega. All of them will not only be threats, but come the end of the race, we'll be racing aggressively. I've seen a lot of patience right now, but not a lot of sketchy blocks either. These guys know they got to make it to the end of the race in order to have a shot to win the race. Oh man, Newman got a little loose. Johnson gets under him, and then he got a big push from Kyle Busch there. Look at him go. Oh, what a move! Johnson up the middle, 3 wide. He's carrying a huge, ginormous run now to the inside of Dillon. Johnson kind of made a hole all on his own there, and he's going to get up to 4th place, it looks like, getting by Blaney. Right in line behind the 62 of Gone. Knows how to get around these super speedways as of late. Oh man, Almirola way up high. Gone would have followed him, but Johnson was already there. And Almirola, man, he got a big push there, but he got a little loose. Johnson trying to get him going to try to work the outside lane. McDowell got way out ahead of these guys. Whose side am I on, between Truex or Elliott? Not really any side there. I don't really see much happening. I think Truex is going to perform pretty well tonight, and I think Chase Elliott might struggle just to get a top 10, so I don't really see those two really getting close to one another much tonight, if at all. Bristol, on the other hand, that could be a possibility. But then again, Truex isn't that great at Bristol, and Elliott is, so they might not even see each other much there either. I don't know, we'll just have to see how it unfolds. It was definitely Truex's fault, for sure, but I don't really think there's going to be much of a rivalry between the two there, to be quite honest. I could be wrong, but Johnson started fading back on the outside, find a hole on the bottom. That's exactly what he did, and quickly back up to 3rd. McDowell really doing well out in front of the field right now. Johnson back to the outside to try and get around Gone at least. It's going to work down the back straightaway. He's up to 2nd. Michael McDowell still leads the race. Done a great job out in front of the field. Johnson to his back bumper now, pushing him off of turn 4. Front row, oh man! Johnson still pushing, McDowell couldn't handle it through the tri-oval, he got loose. Fastest lap of the race there by Johnson, 47.310. That's faster than any lap he's ran this season at the racetrack. Now the top 3 merge to the outside, McDowell's up there, Johnson to follow. Brendan Gaughan in line, looks like Chris Buescher in the 17. First in line on the inside right now. Bobby Carter moves up to the outside. He's in 5th. Now back down to the bottom. Here comes the run on the inside there by Buescher. Johnson sees it. He pulls down to the bottom. McDowell follows. Michael McDowell still holding on to the lead for now. Johnson trying to get to his inside to at least side draft him, but he can't do it. Jimmy looking to go high. McDowell's there. Michael leading a lot of laps in the first 10 to a dozen laps in the race. 10 laps are complete. Rafael Perez, welcome to the stream. Side of my on KB here, Chase. Yeah, I don't really have necessarily a side. When it comes to any driver outside of Blaney, Blaney's obviously my favorite driver, but I'm willing to admit if he's ever in the wrong of things, because I am a casual fan, or I should say, I am a fan of the sport just as much as I'm a fan of Blaney. So I mean, when it comes to any other driver outside of Blaney, I really pick sides, I guess, in a sense. Unless there's maybe a cool underdog story or a cool story going along the way, but that's about it. Joseph Ben, welcome to the stream. And Michael McDowell's very tough to pass here. He got loose getting into 3, though. Johnson was pushing him, kind of sent him off into the corner. Johnson gets around him, and then Bobby Carter now all over the back of Johnson's car. So Jimmy looking to lead his first lap of the race this time. McDowell trying to lead that outside lane. Doesn't have a lot of help. Here comes Blaney behind him. Blaney's won the last 2 Talladega races in real life. So Johnson leads his first lap of the race. Currently at lap 13. No cautions up to this point. Nope, still in the playoffs. Actually locked into the championship 4 right now. CW2288, welcome to the stream. Logano trying to lead the charge on the outside, followed by Brendan Gaughan. Michael McDowell, 3rd car on the outside, then Blaney, Busch, Kyle Busch that is. Johnson controlling the lanes, top to bottom there. 3 wide now behind, and the caution flies for the first time tonight. So caution's out for the first time in the race at lap 14, and Johnson in the lead here. Likely going to keep the track position. And Kurt Busch will hit pit road. He's at the rear of the field. Might as well. He'll top off on gas. Maybe throw 4 fresh Goodyears on the car and get right back out there. So Joey Logano running 3rd. Almost in a must-win situation. Now, minus 22 points for Logano. No stages. It's going to be tough to overcome the odds there, but it's not impossible for them to point their way in. It is Talladega after all. And those drivers that are above the cut line, for all we know, could all finish outside the top 30, and top 10 finishes would be good enough to get them in. You don't want it to have to come to that, but they do control their own destiny always. Would they win in your in scenario? And we've seen Logano make it and do whatever he takes to make it to the championship 4, as back in 2018 at Martinsville, and he eventually went on to win the title. So you never know what could happen there. Johnson had a really good restart on the bottom lane. Logano was just following right on up in there. Denny Hamlin, Blaney moves to the bottom back there in the top 5. Johnson getting, well, he's starting to pull away, and then Logano reeled him in before he pulled away. So better for Johnson let that happen. Joey couldn't get a big run on him. Oh, look at Blaney. Blaney and Hamlin about got together in the tri-oval. Blaney trying to throw the block, and look at the run Nemechek got. I think he got shoved from behind by Bell. Nemechek takes the run. He leads the outside. Now trying to side draft Logano on the bottom. And he's in front of Blaney all of a sudden. John Hunter Nemechek, the rookie, trying to get to the lead. Here at Talladega, Johnson moves up, back down to the bottom. And Bell now up the middle. Another rookie, Christopher Bell. We've seen a lot of these rookies run really well in the playoffs, despite the fact that Bell was the only one of the rookies to make the playoffs this year and actually made it to the round of 12 before getting eliminated. Bell started to fade back there on the bottom. Johnson making some blocks now, but he's not making huge blocks. And oh man, look at Busch. He gets up to 2nd. I think Johnson's going to lose the lead here before long. And there goes Kyle Busch to the lead. He came in to this race 14 points above the cut line. Oh, and Bell about turns Johnson, and he does! The big one at Talladega. Bell goes around. Johnson goes around. Christopher Bell turns Johnson down the backstretch, and the big one piles in behind. Bell tried to pick a lane that there was really nothing there, and he did not hit Johnson square at all. And the big one in the early going of Talladega is out. See, Justin Haley was actually the first car out of the race who brought out that first caution. Clinton Boyer, Bobby Carter pitting now. Carter lost a ton of spots there. I think he was involved. Saw the air get underneath Jimmy Johnson's race car there. He somehow only has 1 second of damage, and he's staying out to keep the track position here. I'm quite surprised that that car is not totaled and even really out of the race. Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch will restart from the lead. Johnson, pretty solid restart on the bottom nonetheless. 3 wide there, in line behind Busch. We'll give Kyle a little bit of a shove, and Kyle Busch will hang on to the lead here. Now Truex to the back bumper of Jimmy Johnson. A little bit of damage to Johnson's car. Nothing severe. It's like Elliott's got damage from the accident too. That definitely gave a lot of cars damage, some of which in the playoffs, some are not. It all started when Christopher Bell turned Johnson right off of turn 2, just down the back straightaway. John Hunter Nemechek, meanwhile, to the lead. He'll lead his first lap of the race. 23 laps in, 2 cautions, 1 big one already in the race. But yeah, the air got underneath Johnson's car. He is very lucky it came back down on all 4 before it ended up actually rolling over, because that definitely would have been the end of Johnson's day. It was starting to get intense there for about 5 laps. Since the restart, it looks like it's mellowed out a little bit, but rookie mistake big time there by Christopher Bell, and it definitely hurt him. And now the 2 Hendrick cars on the inside. Elliott and Johnson working together. Johnson gets the shove. He'll lead the lap, so that's a lead change at the line. First, Jimmy got really loose after Elliott gave him a push, but both of those cars are beat up one way or another. But to work together, 2 cars are faster than 1. And that will get Johnson in the lead as Elliott lets go. Hendrick 1-2 at the front of the field. And caution's out again. 3rd caution of the race already in the first 25 laps. I think Chase is overrated, and same question for Junior. Who do you think is more overrated? I don't really think either of them are overrated. Fan base is just, you know, solely behind them, and fans are fans one way or another. Doesn't really look like anybody's going to pit here, so Johnson will stay out, keep the track position once again. But yeah, Chase Elliott's going to be good. Chase Elliott's got 8 wins already in his career. He's still really young. Chase Elliott's definitely got a brighter future, I think, than what Junior would have had. But Junior still had a good career. He didn't win a championship, no, but that doesn't mean he didn't have a good career. He had a good career. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was very solid. And honestly, Junior's career probably stacks up. I'd say top 30 of all time. Even though he didn't win a championship, with the amount of wins he had in the big races he won. Winning in more meaningful times, Junior did have a good career, so I wouldn't say any of them are overrated. Ryan Preece has worked his way to the front here, and now here comes another Hendrick driver, William Byron. Won the last super speedway race in real life in NASCAR, winning the Coke 0400 at Daytona. So Johnson, Byron, 1-2. And Bowman and Elliott are there. 4 Hendrick Chevrolets in the top 5. Might make this a Hendrick breakaway here before long. Byron thought about going to the top, and now Suarez gets shuffled out of line. These Hendrick cars hook up together. It's going to be tough to break them apart. They're all nose to tail on the inside. Oh, Bowman tries to make a move for himself on Byron. Now, Bowman's in an interesting situation, though, too. Remember, Bowman might need to win this race to get into the next round, so he's willing to do whatever it takes. It looks like there as he hangs out his teammates. Still 3 Hendrick cars on the bottom, and Byron leads the outside, getting pushed by Blaney, so everybody's got that going for him here, and Johnson just doesn't look like he's got the speed since that accident These guys are all over him. Oh, Hendrick 3 wide. For second, Elliott on the bottom, Byron all the way at the top, and Bowman sandwiched in the middle. And now Johnson gets way out ahead of him off of turn number 2. He's got a huge lead. And luckily it is Hendrick cars there. They're not going to make an aggressive move. They're going to keep Jimmy out in front. Elliott Bowman moved to the top. Johnson does too, but here comes Busher on the bottom. Jimmy's got to make sure he blocks Busher off. Jimmy just trying to control the lines here. Johnson not going to block Chase, and now they're side by side for the lead. I don't think you're going to see aggressive side drafting from the two. Just kind of trying to control the lines more than anything else. But the fan favorite out in front of the field, Chase Elliott, he does have a career win here at Talladega. Who'd I root for before Blaney? So when I was younger, I rooted for Greg Biffle. So that's why you're going to see me use Biffle for that first season of Thunder 04. And then the second season, I'll leave it up to a fan vote. So it's been a while, obviously, since I played an older NASCAR game, so it'd be kind of cool using the Biff again. It's a cool dude when he raced. I was always a Roush Fenway fan, so I don't know why Biffle was always my favorite guy, but one way or another, Biffle was my favorite guy. And a lot of it had to do, I really liked the Subway paint scheme he had, and I always thought his Subway commercial with Jack Grouse was hilarious, so that definitely helped helped the favoritism there. Johnson all over the back of Chase Elliott here. Hendrick Chevrolets working together at Talladega, running 1-2 at the front of the field. Almirola third, Busher fourth, Jones in fifth. Oh, Johnson didn't want to move to the bottom of him, but I guess they're both side by side. They can both block 2 lines behind them. William Byron trying to get into the mix again here. Byron keeps shifting his lane inside, outside. Trying to find a lane that works. Back to the inside. It's amazing how great all 4 Hendrick cars are running, and look at that, Bowman and Byron working together to go up the middle. Elliott to the lead. And that middle lane kind of stalled out once Elliott moved down in front of Johnson. Johnson willing to stick behind Elliott, just trying to keep at least a Hendrick car up in front no matter who it is. Keep these teammates working together. This is working out because Byron is actually leading that bottom lane while Elliott and Johnson run the top. Byron to the back bumper of Johnson now, and I mean these guys are a cohesive unit right now. And Bowman's losing. Oh man, Bell still got a ton of damage there from that huge accident. He's worked himself back into the top 10, and all of a sudden Blaney worked his way up to third after running the bottom lane. He's got a little bit of damage too. There's quite a few guys with a decent amount of damage. And Elliott's getting quite a ways out in front of the field. Blaney going to give Johnson a shot. Do I race currently? No. No, my first year not racing go-karts or quarter midgets, whatever I was in. I was in a rage kart one year too. But Yeah, first year I was not racing since I was 6 years old was last year, all the way through the summer. I was able to travel a lot in NASCAR races because of it. I started traveling the year before, but yeah, my grandpa sold the go-kart. He owned it. He got sick. He got diagnosed with Alzheimer's last year, and so we couldn't run the two-man show anymore. So he sold it. So it was unfortunate, but I guess unfortunately the sad part is all good things come to an end eventually. But I mean, we knew it was a matter of time, though. A couple years before that, though, we kind of noticed obviously he wasn't, you know, the same. So, you know, it was gonna run out, and it wasn't like we had like huge spot. Like, I was successful in it, but I mean, we didn't have like any sponsorship for me to get like, you know, ride in anything bigger, which was the ultimate goal there, was to work my way up. And then when that just kind of stalled out and fizzled out, I was just kind of, you know, left wondering, okay, you know, now what do I do? So started traveling a bunch of races. Had that bucket list item of going to every Cup Series racetrack. So I was doing that. Still am doing that. But then the whole YouTube thing came into fruition. I'm like, I had that plan since about like sophomore year of high school that I'm like, I really want to be a broadcaster someday. And that kind of went away slightly because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my future, you know. Once he sold the go-kart and I wasn't racing anymore, so kind of last year it's like, yeah, I was traveling and that was fun, but I just had no clue what I was going to do. And then I turned to YouTube. I'm like, all right, you really want to become a broadcaster? Me physically racing is not going to happen anymore. I had to put that to rest, as hard as that was for me to actually overcome and realize that it wasn't going to happen. So this was going to be the next gateway into racing. So sure enough, we got the YouTube channel going now. I'm having a lot of fun with it. You guys are having a lot of fun with it. We do these realistic broadcasts simply for my future to hopefully one day get to do this for a living. Because I do love talking NASCAR still, obviously. It's still my favorite sport. I got a huge passion for it. And, you know, I did want to become a broadcaster. That was going to be my second plan, you know, and I love doing it, even if it's just video games right now. So pretty much where all this came about. So it's kind of, I guess, my whole racing story. Well, not the whole thing, but kind of like the end of my racing story. We had some good runs in there. Started racing quarter midgets when I was, well, like I said, 6. But we practiced for like 2 years on this dirt track. And all I wanted to do was race. He was like, no, we're going to wait till you're ready. We're going to wait till you're ready. And I was like, man, I want to race so bad. You know, why isn't he letting me race? Whatever. Then he found out I was ready. So when I was 8 years old, after 2 years, I knew how to hit my marks, everything else. We went to Sandusky Speedway. They have an asphalt half-mile oval track. And on the inside of that, in the infield, they got a go-kart track, a dirt track. So first year in quarter midgets, went down. Very first race I was in, very first race. And I remember vividly, we were in the feature. We were running in second place. Caution came out in the last lap. Not sure what the caution came out for. I can't really remember. But there was caution on the last lap. So we had a one-lap shootout. I was in second. And I noticed the guy in front of me, the kid in front of me, had, like, his left rear tire was basically flat. Like, it was almost to the rim. I'm like, and as soon as I saw that, before we went green, I saw it under the pace lap. I'm like, turn 1, I'm going to go for it. Like, I'm going to go for it. And, yep, sure enough, I got under him. He didn't have the speed down the back straightaway. Pulled him going into 3 and 4. Only lap I led the whole night. It was the last lap in my first ever quarter midget race, and we got the win. Everybody back in the pits, my family and stuff was just going crazy. That was an awesome feeling. So fun. I knew at that point I was probably going to be doing it for a while, and sure enough I did. From the time I stepped in until I was from 6 years old till last year would have been the first year out, so I would have been doing it until I was 19. 1 year removed from high school. Yeah, I would have been 19 when I stopped, so. Short story there, but Looks promising you'll get to K&N next year. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Andrew. Wish you good luck, man. It's a tough business, especially to become successful in. So, but if you get the funding, you got the talent, go for it, man. Caution's out for the 4th time tonight. 148 laps to go at Talladega Superspeedway. Chase Elliott in the lead. Bobby Carter went from the rear of the field all the way back up to 4th. Remember, he pitted earlier. Boyer also pit. Kurt Busch pit. So those are going to be some drivers staying out. Looks like Reddick, Kenseth will stay out here. We were very close to green flag stops before that caution came out. Now we don't have to worry about green flag stops. 1 second of damage that will be repaired on Johnson's car. So this is going to split those Hendrick cars up quite a bit there. Johnson and Elliott were running really well up at the front. Bowman and Byron kind of fell outside the top 10 by the end, but still, Elliott and Johnson were working well enough together. Green flag back in the air. Ooh, Johnson spins the tires on the restart. Any tips for making a schedule? Well, if you wanted to make it challenging, you can very well do my playoff schedule, because it is definitely challenging. I think we've DNF'd like 3 or 4 times in the playoffs. We didn't DNF hardly at all in the regular season. I'm thinking like twice. But then in the playoffs, we've already DNF'd like 3 or 4 times. I put a lot of short tracks in here. I put a lot of the tracks that were tougher for me, like Chicagoland specifically. So, I mean, if you want to make it tough on yourself and you're going to have a playoffs, I'd put a lot of those playoff races at the end of the season. Or, obviously playoffs are going to be at the end of the year. A lot of the hardest tracks in the playoffs. It's definitely been a fun ride here with Jimmy Johnson over the course of the season, that is for sure. Shane Pinckney, welcome to the stream. Tyler Burback, also welcome. Still 143 laps to go. Already 4 cautions in. The big one already came out. Look at Bobby Carter. He restarted in first. He is all the way back at about a lap and a half. It's about 13th place, 14th now. Kind of too many packs here. You got about 14 cars, and then you've got Michael McDowell and Chad Fincham, a couple car lengths back there, but they're still within reach of this lead pack. Looks like Matt Kenseth leading the field right now at Talladega. Newman moved up. Johnson just to the inside of him there, 3 wide. Newman gets a run by himself, though. He's able to get back in front of the 48. Not a lot of cars on the inside right around Newman and Johnson. A lot of cars on the outside. And there's Elliott and Johnson side by side here. Byron working himself into the mix again. So we saw those Chevrolets, Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets in particular, working well together. See if they can all find themselves back up to the front with one another once again. Nice 3 wide pass per second at the front of the field for Chris Buescher. Quinn Houff currently leading the race. He has come close twice to winning races this season, both at super speedways, and he's leading laps here today. A lot of guys up around the top. Johnson now moves down to the bottom. Saul McDowell was closing in. That was his run. Tag team action with a couple of Fords at the front of the field. DiBenedetto will push Chris Buescher to the lead off of turn 2. Big run on the bottom by Johnson. This will get him at least up to 4th behind Houff. Had to lift. He was coming in hot. And Buescher, oh, looked like he was out of line there for a moment. Got back in line in front of the field. Or DiBenedetto was able to get around him to the inside. Johnson moves up. DiBenedetto moves up. Oh, he hesitated a little bit. He moves back down to the bottom. Buescher still on the outside, and Johnson will follow back in. So luckily he found his way back in. Kyle Busch did follow him there for a quick moment. He was willing to try to make the outside work. Run kind of stalled out for Jimmy, and both him and Busch moved back down to the inside. Chris Buescher has to be careful moving out of line like that. One of these times he's not going to be able to get back in line. Large single file pack for about the first 6 or 7 cars in the field. Look at that, 205 miles an hour down the back straightaway at Talladega. Definitely tell pretty much since the big one came out, just over 20 laps into the race, it's been pretty calm. We have had 4 cautions totals of 2 cents, but single car incidents. Looks like David Reagan's out of the race also. So Justin Haley, David Reagan, the 2 cars out of the race so far. Oh, Busch is going to get shuffled out of line there from Austin Dillon now. Buescher goes high. DiBenedetto is there on the inside with a big run. Oh, Johnson up the middle. Jimmy with a huge run. He looks high, and now he's on the outside of DiBenedetto for the lead. Buescher got hung out to dry. Johnson up to second, trying to side draft the right rear corner panel. Run fades out. Matt DiBenedetto to the lead at Talladega. Johnson in line in second. Quinn Houff third. Austin Dillon fourth. And Chris Buescher rounds out the top 5. Now DiBenedetto goes high. He might not lead that first lap of the race. Johnson had a huge run all by himself. Johnson leads the lap. So DiBenedetto still, for the Wood brothers, have not led a lap yet tonight. Oh, Houff pushing Johnson. Johnson got loose. Houff got loose. Houff might have checked up when Johnson went high, but Jimmy still somehow held on to the lead. Austin Dillon works his way up to second. He moves high. Buescher to the inside of him now. Buescher getting help from behind from Ross Chastain for Spire Motorsports in the 77 car. Houff all the way on the outside. He's got help. Somebody's pushing him up there. It looks like it is DiBenedetto in the 21. And now, oh, look at that aggressive side drafting by Chastain. He knows how to get around these super speedways, although he hasn't had luck later in the races. And look at Quinn Houff on the outside. 3 wide for second place now. Things are slowly starting to intensify since Johnson has taken the lead. They are stacked up 3 wide here. He sees Bowman in there. He's second in line on the inside, and as he moves up, Chastain to the bottom, getting pushed by Bowman. Johnson falls in line behind Bowman, and these 2 Hendrick cars might work together here. Bowman, 22 points below the cut line coming into the race here tonight. He's looking low. Johnson will follow his teammate if he can get underneath Chastain. If he goes high, he'll probably try to do that too. Bowman looking to go high. Johnson follows. Johnson's got help from behind by Newman as it goes up high to block. He saw the run coming. And now they move to the inside. How loose Bowman got there after that shot from Johnson. It's almost like a 3-car tandem on the bottom of the track, but it's Alex Bowman to the lead here at Talladega. Getting pushed by Johnson. Gonna have to watch the bottom. They have migrated to the top here. Jones is coming. Teamwork by the Hendrick Chevrolet is working out pretty well tonight. Johnson hasn't led a lot of laps tonight, but Hendrick as a whole has. Byron, the only one of the 4 Hendrick drivers, did not lead a lap tonight. Bowman leading his first laps of the race now. Johnson's led a handful, but Elliott has led the most of the 3. In fact, Elliott and McDowell have led the 2 most laps in the race total. Remember, Michael McDowell led a lot of laps at the very beginning of the race. Oh, Buescher started coming to the inside, 3 wide. Johnson wanted to hop down in front of him. He couldn't. He didn't want to hang on his teammate there, but he was trying to stall the run that Buescher had. Chris Buescher to the lead. Jones gave Johnson a huge shot, and here comes Jimmy Johnson. 7-time champ trying to get to the lead. He is side drafting Buescher. Man, Bowman really dropped like a rock after losing the lead. Quinn Houp will give Johnson a shot. Not much of one, though. Let's go immediately. Houp gonna lock bumpers again. Short moment there. Who will lead this lap at the line? It will be Buescher by inches, who will lead the lap. Houp, let's go. Caution's out. Already the 5th caution of the race. Barely over 50 laps in. That'd be pretty cool there, Andrew, if we somehow did meet each other like that. Ooh, Kyle Busch. Breaking news. Kyle Busch is starting at the rear of the field for tonight's Richmond race. He is still staying on my fantasy team, but he will have to come from the back. No, we're going to stay out of the pits here. Keep the track position for now. So there's the breaking news on the channel. Pre-race for Richmond. Johnson holds the track position. He'll restart from the lead. He didn't want to be mid-pack there. He has been a couple times tonight. It's been pretty sketchy, so Johnson playing it smart here. He's got Bowman on the inside, but he's back there in 5th. Green flag back in the air again at Talladega, so already 5 cautions tonight. Good restart by Johnson, trying to pull that inside lane perhaps. And Johnson's getting way out ahead of the field. Houp and Buescher side drafting each other quite a bit for second. They might get a run on Jimmy here before long because Jimmy got way ahead of him. Bowman goes high. He doesn't have a lot of help. He does have Quinn Houp behind him, but like Keselowski moved up in front of him, and Bowman just lost a ton of spots with that move. And Johnson, the lone Hendrick car, looks like even in the top 10 right now. Buescher, Dillon work together. They got to the outside of Johnson. Oh, Dillon, he gets faded out of line. Buescher still has the run, though. Johnson goes up the side draft. And now gets a shot there from Truex. That wasn't clean at all, though. Johnson got loose. Truex gets shuffled out of line. Here comes Chastain. Harvick now, who has not been up front all day long, is going to push Johnson on the inside. Look at that swarm of cars out of the rear view of Johnson's. Looks like somebody's lost the draft way out there. The back of the pack. Not sure who that is. Ooh, Johnson got really tight there. Comes to Benedetto. He got close to leading the lap a couple times already today, and they're 4 wide now going through the tri-oval. 4 wide. Now down to 3 wide by the time they got in the corner. Oh boy, Harvick just squeezed in there. He didn't want to get out of the gas. He had a big push coming from Ty Dillon. Johnson back down to the bottom. He only lost 2 spots. Joey Gase out of nowhere up to 5th. Oh, Dillon tried to go high, and that checks up the outside. Everybody kind of follows. Bug drafting getting very aggressive, and here comes Chase Elliott. Fellow playoff driver, or not playoff driver, but Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet back into the top 5, and they're lined up on the inside. He's got to get down, though, in front of Priest, and Elliott does. So Harvick leads. Johnson now to the inside, looking for the lead himself. Elliott is coming. Harvick still up high, looking for help from Dillon again. Elliott will give Johnson the shot. And just like that, teamwork again. And I gotta say, Hendrick has been working well as a team tonight, better than any other team we've seen so far. Elliott couldn't push any longer there. Priest had a big run on the outside. Johnson stalls it out, back to the inside to lead Elliott. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., another Chevrolet in there for JTG Doherty Racing. I guess Priest is up there too, so maybe those two can work together. Man, they're 3 wide. Priest trying to work the outside. There are a lot of Chevys in the top 10 right now. Austin Dillon's up here still too. And here comes Ryan Priest on the outside, getting pushed by Austin Dillon. Oh, Dillon just sideswipes Johnson. Ooh, Johnson tried to clear Dillon there, couldn't quite do it. You saw that amount of side draft that Dillon got off that right rear corner panel as well. And as the aggressive side drafting goes on behind Ryan Priest, that's going to help Priest out. Oh no, Johnson got tight. Johnson got tight. He got into Dillon. Here comes Blaney to the bottom. 3 wide now for second. Oh, that was a scary moment there. Off of turn 2. Car just stepped out on Jimmy. Elliott and Johnson. Elliott tried to help his teammate out there, going to the middle. Johnson's car is extremely out of shape. Pretty much the entirety of that last lap. Meanwhile, Austin Dillon gets to the inside of Ryan Priest. Ooh, Johnson got a big run back on the outside again. Oh, Blaney got a shove. Blaney, he's loose. He hangs on to it. He gets to the inside of the 37. What caused the big one? So coming off of turn 2, just over 20 laps into the race, Christopher Bell just flat out took me out. I mean, Bell tried to fit in a hole that wasn't there. And turned Johnson running in the top 5 at the time, and a bunch of cars piled in behind. Luckily, we only had 1 second of damage somehow. Able to repair it, we kept going. Kurt Busch now for the lead. Here go Byron and Johnson. They're 4 wide again through 3 and 4. 3 wide for 3rd. 4 wide back there for about 6th. Byron to the inside. Johnson to his back bumper. Big push. They're going to get to the inside of Kurt Busch. No, Busch tries to throw the block. He barely did. Blaney with a big run to the back of Jimmy. Byron looking high off of turn 4. Johnson to follow. Big shot coming through the tri-oval. Oh, Byron got loose. Johnson gets stuck out of line. He's in the sucker hole in the middle now. Byron tried to get to the outside of Kurt Busch. Couldn't quite do it. There's still no help, and here comes Elliott now to help his teammate. Oh, contact with Logano. Things are getting dicey again. Priest going back for the lead again. Getting pushed by Corey LaJoie in the 32. He hasn't been up at the front of the field all day. And look at the run Johnson got through 3 and 4. Johnson with a major run. He went from about 7th to 2nd place in about half a straightaway. And he still got the run. Now to the inside of Joey Gase for the lead. Gase leads the lap. Where did Johnson get that run from? And he's still going all by himself. Johnson with a huge run is going to get to the lead, but he can't quite clear the 51 yet. He almost got to the lead. And now LaJoie's going to help him out a little more. Gase kind of hung out to dry on that top lane, and Jimmy Johnson back out in front once again here. With Busch in line behind him. On the inside, Benedetto on the inside. Then on the outside, it's Corey LaJoie, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch. Benedetto now up the middle. Joey leads that 3rd lane all of a sudden, all by himself. Oh, contact! LaJoie and Logano got together. And Logano's really going to lose a lot of momentum now. No help and the contact. Somehow LaJoie still holding that middle lane. Logano finds himself in line finally about 5 rows deep, and here comes the 32 of Corey LaJoie. The steering wheel equals NASCAR experience. Yeah, we've had problems in the past with it disconnecting on us, so that's why we haven't used it as much for Heat 5. I don't know why it disconnects on me. I don't know if it's the game. It never happened to me until this game started doing it. Oh, man. Look at this. 4 wide for the lead. Hamlin just kind of shoved Johnson out of line. Not intentionally, of course, but Denny Hamlin couldn't clear the 48, though. Johnson with a big run. Getting pushed by Chris Buescher. And they go 3 wide for 2nd. It's been intense since the restart, the last restart. Harvick's starting to fade back in that middle line all of a sudden. Oh, he works his way back up again. I think he got a big push all of a sudden from Quinn Houff in the 00, who again has ran really well in these super speedways this season. Again, the only 2 cars out of the race. And now they're 4 wide for 2nd. What I was going to say was that the only 2 cars out of the race right now are David Reagan and Justin Haley, so all 8 playoff drivers still in it. Again, final race to decide the championship 4. That will be at Darlington for the Southern 500 in the next race. They are still 4 wide for 2nd place. And Johnson can't block all 4 lines. Something's got to give. I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to make it running like that. They're still 4 wide mid-pack through the tri-oval. It'll widen out a little bit for them there. But then it'll just get tight again going into turn 1. To think we still got over 100 laps to go. Unbelievable, man. These guys are racing like it's the last lap. Comes Carter. Oh, bad decision there by Johnson. Oh, now he gets really out of line. He got out of shape quite a bit there. A little contact with Gase. Got to be careful. Quinn Houff back to the lead again. Willie B on the inside. And caution will fly for the 6th time in the race. 6 cautions with 115 to go, and that'll settle things down. Cockpit equals instant kill. View equals death. We will be alternating through different angles here eventually. Gonna see 2nd pit stop for Johnson today coming under this caution. First time you watch race with your parents. Nice, Joshua. Green flag back in the air. Here we go. Good track to do it at. Short track. Johnson lost a few spots on pit road there. Might have had a couple guys stay out. Not entirely sure. William Byron will lead the field to the green this time. Ooh, Johnson got a little loose getting up to speed. And they're already 3 wide. Johnson looking to stay true to the bottom. Well, Johnson had a big run. Rolled that entire inside, had a huge run. Here comes Logano. Taking it 4 wide into turn. A move by Joey, but that kind of stalled out quickly for him. And now Byron gets shuffled out of line. Carter got really loose off of turn 4. Kind of broke his momentum. Here comes Johnson, who restarted in 9th place, has gotten all the way up to 2nd. He moves way up high. Reddick leads the lap at the line. And here's Christopher Bell back into the picture. Old contact. Bell and Johnson got together, which caused the big one earlier. Remember, Bell, that was the last time he was really up here contending for the lead, but he's back at it again, but this time Johnson behind him. They try to work that upper lane. Johnson went down to side draft John Hunter Nemechek. Busher to the inside of Reddick. Johnson tried to go up the middle. Reddick was able to get back down in front of Busher. Here comes Carter. Nemechek looks high for a moment, back to the inside. Nemechek goes high, center of the corner. I don't know if he got shuffled out of line by Chastain or if he saw Johnson and figured, hey, why not try it? Jimmy gonna give him a push down the back straightaway. They got a pretty decent run at first, but I don't know what this can turn into. We got 4 rookies inside the top 10 if you count Bobby Carter, the generated rookie. Busher to the inside for the lead. Oh, Nemechek gets loose and around goes Nemechek through the triangle. Johnson into the wall. Oh no! Huge crash in the triangle. Nemechek got loose and hooked Johnson. And that's going to end the race. It happens that quickly at Talladega. Johnson did nothing wrong there as he got absolutely hooked by Nemechek, but Nemechek just got loose through the tri-oval all of a sudden, hit Johnson in a terrible spot. Man. Well, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. Good news is, despite DNFing in the last 2 races, both in the round of 8 for Johnson, again, he had that win at Phoenix that locked him into the championship. We'll take a look at your results here for the race, and we'll get to decide who is in the championship 4. And who will have a shot at the championship in the Southern 500 in the next race. Tough break there. Jimmy technically finished 38th because remember David Reagan and Justin Haley were already out of the race, so we won't account them in the finishing results, but we will account for everybody else. You see Haley 20th there. Where'd David Reagan finish? Not sure. John Hunter Nemechek saved it enough. He gets the win at Talladega. First career win for Nemechek. Man. So John Hunter Nemechek gets his first career win at Talladega. Kevin Harvick 2nd. Ross Chastain 3rd. Bobby Carter 4th. Denny Hamlin in 5th. He's the first playoff driver. Hamlin will lock himself into the next round of the playoffs because he was above the cut line coming into the race. He's actually the last driver above the cut line, but him finishing ahead of every other playoff driver and there being no stages, that is why Denny Hamlin will make it into the championship 4. Chris Buescher 6th, Tyler Reddick 7th, Chase Elliott 8th, Joey Logano in 9th. He came in minus 22 there. Blaney will round out the top 10 in that one. Jared Harvey, welcome to the stream. So yeah, I'm going to do my quick math here on these playoff drivers. Not going to do it for Denny Hamlin because we know he is going to be in the playoffs. So give me a quick moment. Everybody stand by and we'll give you the championship 4 for Darlington in about another week and a half, roughly, for that championship race when we get that going. So Logano finished 9th. Give him 28 points. See where these other playoff drivers finished in this race as well. Got to go down to Clinton Boyer in 17th. Boyer came in 17 points below the cut line, but he did finish third of the playoff drivers, so he could have made it here. Fourth playoff driver in the running tonight was Kyle Busch. Finished in 23rd. Again, the only reason I'm having to do the points manually is because at the end of the regular season, they had that glitch at the time that it kept freezing on me. So in order to keep the actual series going, I had to do races, on championship mode that were not on that specific season, so that way DNFs were still a thing. But fortunately, I'm having to do the points by myself here, so that's why you guys are hopefully waiting patiently enough that we could see this, see who will get in. Alex Bowman will not make it to the championship 4. He finished 32nd. He came in minus 22. So Bowman will not make it into the championship 4. Rough night for Brad Keselowski, finishing 33rd, another one of the playoff drivers. Ryan Newman came in only 9 points to the good, finished 36th. That scores him just 1 point here tonight. Tough break for Ryan Newman, and that will round out the 8 drivers. Not a good day for the playoff drivers, outside of obviously if you barely made it in, but Denny Hamlin, the only playoff driver, him and Logano, the only 2 to make it into the championship 4, so take a look here again. Jimmy Johnson in on a win. The most points in that round of the playoffs goes to Denny Hamlin, so he will advance himself on points. Again, 3 drivers would have made it on points. The number 3 seed going into the championship 4 is Kyle Busch by quite a wide margin there. And the last spot by 3 points will go to Joey Logano with that 9th place finish, good enough to get him in. He came in 22 points down. We said he might have needed a win to get in. He did not. He had enough drivers finish well below him that he was able to point his way in with a top 10 finish tonight. So congrats for him. The final spot by 3 points over Clint Boyer, who also came in 17 points below the cut line there. So just a rough go for all of those guys. Ryan Newman barely missed the playoffs also. Newman only missed by 4 points. Brad Keselowski missed by 10 points. And Alex Bowman missed by 20 points into making it into the next round. So Championship racing Joey Logano. So just like that, again, that is your championship 4. Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano will be going for the championship 4 in the Southern 500 at Darlington. So wow, I mean, this is setting up for a good one. Southern 500. Johnson has had a rough go in the playoffs. He has DNF 4 or 5 times now. I don't know the exact number because I can't remember, but that might very well be the 5th DNF in the 9 races in the playoffs. It has not been it has not been a good playoffs here for Jimmy Johnson. He literally has only made it round by round because of his wins in each round. In the few races he has not DNF, so it's been really checkers of records for him. And a lot of it has just been bad luck, like this wreck here tonight at Talladega. He was involved in the big one. Made it through, luckily, through that. And that was just over 20 laps into the race. But come to find out, something like that happened, unfortunately. And yeah, it's gonna wrap things up here tonight. So that is gonna do it for this one. Why'd I put Talladega as an elimination race? Hey, man, for entertainment purposes only. But at least we're in the championship 4. Again, we won at Phoenix, thankfully. Because we DNF'd at Martinsville and Talladega. But now we got to make sure for a fact that we make it to the end of Darlington. 500 miles there, 367 laps. Again, that will be coming up. That is likely... Not sure exactly when we're going to have that race. I think it's likely going to be not next week, but the week after. By the time we get the Xfinity Series caught up, it'll probably be the week after. So, it is definitely going to be pretty good. That is to say the least. But, nevertheless, that is going to do it here for this one. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. And, yeah, share with others. Other NASCAR fans, whether it's in the YouTube community, friends, family. We're growing this channel as quickly as we can, day by day. And the road to 1,000 is on. But nevertheless, again, that is going to be it here. So enjoy the race tonight at Richmond. It should be a good one. I'll have a post-race analysis video for that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Catch you next time.